Hey everyone, I'm back again with another board game to unbox from Kickstarter. This is Tomb Raider: The Crypt of Chronos. It's a board game that I backed last year in May of 2025, and I went pretty much all in. I think I got everything except for the Lara statue, like the big statue. So I'm sure I can live without the statue. But yeah, really look forward to this one. It is a single-player board game, which is a rarity. I think it's the only one that I own. Looking over at the shelves, can't see any other single-player games. So this is the first one, I suppose, which in a way is a good thing for me because it's a lot easier to get a board game out and play by yourself than it is to try and arrange a bunch of people to come round. Thinking of Horizon Forbidden West, for example, I unboxed that one. It was, I think, end of last year, December, and I've only managed to get like one session in because it's just hard to get a group of people, especially one that was able to commit to a whole campaign. Anyway, this one was fulfilled by Zatu, so always a good service from them. And we've got two parcels. We have the main box here, and then we also have this tube here, which I think contains the neoprene mat, which does concern me slightly because the tube is massive and bigger than my table. So I didn't check measurements, and I'm concerned that this isn't going to fit. But we'll have to see, I suppose. Who needs a table when you have a floor, right? Okay, let's open it up, see what we've got. So one thing I liked about this Kickstarter was they offered an option for one big box that contained the main game and all of the expansions, which is always a good thing if you ask me, because it just less shelf space is always a good thing. All right, we've got some cool things in here, so let's take them out one by one and have a look. First up, we have the Croft Manor. Includes Winston miniature. Very cool. So you can see that's like the original Tomb Raider Croft Manor. Got this the new-ish version of Lara on the side. And yeah, it's really cool. This was before the new Tomb Raider games were announced. So the version of Lara on here is slightly different to the one that's in like Legacy of Atlantis, but it's very close. And I really do like the new unified design. So what do we have here? Defend Croft Manor. Return to Lara's ancestral home in this gripping epilogue adventure, where danger strikes at the heart of everything she holds dear. Natla Technologies has launched a full-scale assault on Croft Manor, and only you can stop them. That's really cool. Protect the estate's secrets, shield loyal butler Winston from harm, and fortify the manor's halls before it's overrun. Then prepare for your ultimate challenge in survivor missions, where wave after wave of enemies will test your every skill. This expansion pack for Tomb Raider: The Crypt of Chronos includes 2 brand new locations, the iconic interior and sprawling grounds of Croft's Manor, a miniature of Winston, and powerful new relics and upgrades to aid you in your defense. The enemy is at the gates where you stand your ground. So you can see it says the core box of Tomb Raider: The Crypt of Chronos is needed to enjoy this expansion, and then there's all the stuff that's included. So it's really nice because it reminds me of Tomb Raider 2, I think it was, where after you finish the main campaign, you go back to Croft Manor and you have to face off against the, I think, is it the Bertolli Mafia? Anyway, yeah. Pretty nice callback to that. Okie dokie, so it opens up on the side like this. Ooh, got static. Alright, so under the tray we have a booklet which presumably goes through how it all works. Really nice. Oh, this looks like, it's almost like the PS1 user manuals for the game. Really nice. You see, this is chapter 16. So really cool. And being like a narrative campaign, it's really nice to be able to just play it on your own in a way. Some survivor achievements as well. Very cool. Yeah, it just means it's easier for you to be able to commit to the full campaign. All right, so here are our tiles. So some sort of outside gravel situation. There's like skulls with a dice on it. It's a bedroom. Very cool. The hedges. Statue on the inside. So obviously I don't know how the game works fully. With these Kickstarters, I tend to get like a basic idea of how the game works from the like information, and obviously use that to inform whether I would like it. But then I don't tend to watch too many like gameplay videos because I like to experience it myself. Here we've got a little Winston with a tray. It's a really, really nice looking miniature, actually, quite detailed for the size. It's slightly bigger than a standard human miniature in Horizon, so just big enough to be a little bit more detailed. Then in here we have some cards. So this is pretty interesting. So they've got these 5 little envelopes that are sealed. Oh, hang on. Got 3, 6, 9, 3, 6. So I'm not sure what these mean, but maybe to do with the survivor missions. Then here we have some cards. Build, brace, use some weapons, the revolver, and the training gear outfit. You may spend 1 of something to convert a something into a something. Cool, so that's our little mini Croft Manor expansion. Very nice. I like that it's in this tiny box. Just like I said, less space, always a good thing. Next, let's have a look at these dice. We have the deluxe tomb dice. They look really quite big actually for dice. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got some yellow dice here. They've got like hourglasses on, so you've got 1s, you've got some 2s, and then a blank side, and then this big dice, you've got 1, like a broken one, blank side, and 2. So yeah, I'm not sure what these mean. Oh, there's one more as well. This one just looks like a normal die, but it's like a black one. So it's nice that they're quite large, and also we've lost that one. They are engraved, so you've got it kind of built into it. They just look really nice. Everyone likes dice. Okay, next is a bag of plastic resource tokens. So these are going to be all the different resources that are in the main game. I'm not going to unbag this. I will take one out so we can have a look. Yeah, so it's just got like a printing. It's just a black plastic piece with a printed design on it. So yeah, nothing too special, not like embossed or anything, but if it's little like cardboard tokens in the main game, then plastic's always a little bit nicer. All right, next we have stretch goal tokens. So no idea what these refer to. So we have a little baggie of red gems of some description, so hopefully when we look at the main game that will make some sense. Then we have this yellow token here with 2 different sides on it. Interesting. And then these little black ones here, +1 outfit, +1 weapon. Not sure what they refer to, but always nice. Like I said at the beginning, hopefully these will all fit inside the main box, so they don't all have to be separate when it comes to storing them on the shelf. All right, time for another mini expansion. We have dinosaur enemies. So really cool, obviously, because the T-Rex especially is a well-known feature of Tomb Raider, especially the original games. So really nice. What do we have in this one? So it says here, unleash prehistoric terror. Fast, primal, and relentless. Once these ferocious enemies catch your scent, you'll have little time to react. Test your mettle against a deadly pack of dinosaur enemies and the towering T-Rex boss, who isn't picky about who she devours. Take down these formidable foes with the help of 3 new relics, each with its own distinct abilities, included in this expansion pack for Tomb Raider: The Crypt of Chronos. Can you prevail against these predators of the prehistoric past? I see what you did there. So yeah, it says you need the core game, obviously, and then you've got in here 4 any enemy minis. So you've got the velociraptors and then whatever dinosaurs those are. They're like the ones that spit in that guy's face in Jurassic Park. 1 boss mini, 4 event cards, 1 boss card, 3 relic cards, and 1 rule sheet. And dinos coming out. So it looks like we've got some more of those little envelope things, so that's really cool. So we'll come to these in a moment. Let's have a look at the minis first of all. So there is our little velociraptor. Really, really nice. These are like really quite detailed for how small they are. So it'd be nice to see them painted. Like I said before, but this one's probably closer to Resident Evil size than Horizon. Smaller than Deep Rock. Yeah, I'd say that's probably about right. Then we've got the spitty guy. Nice. Creepy dinosaur. And then the T-Rex, the main event. Really, really cool. Obviously, people nowadays think that the T-Rex and other dinosaurs probably have feathers, but you know, these are the classic looking ones. I'm glad they kept them like that. Right, let's look in this pack of cards. Let's have a look. Event and Invaded. Let's look at it this way. All right, standard enemies. So we have some dinosaurs. Like, it still doesn't say what dinosaurs they are, but it looks like they're all considered to be the same creature. So they've got the same amount of health and damage and all that kind of stuff. Then on the back you have the advanced enemies. There we go. Dilophosaurus, something like that. They can move through block spaces. Okay, that's cool. So if you're playing the standard game, then all of the dinosaurs come under the same umbrella, but more advanced, they have like different behaviors, which I think is nice. Then we've got these four cards, Invaded and Events. Not sure difference between them. But you see here you've got enemy spawns or enemy spawns. So I'm guessing, is this the T-Rex maybe? Not sure. And then in this pack, we have a big card for the big boss. Here is the T-Rex. She moves towards whoever is closest, you or enemies. When she reaches an enemy, she eats it and recovers their health as her own. Wow, so she could eat the other dinosaurs or other enemies if you've got more than the dinosaurs out. That's really cool. All right, so that's the T-Rex. We've got some more of these, 3, 6, and 9. Are these maybe the relics? See, they've got like a dinosaur foot on them, so I guess that's to tell what expansion they're from. And so it says here, how to use. Dinosaur enemies can be added into any game mode and will then appear just like any other enemy class. So you would remove 2 wildlife and 2 protector enemy spawn cards from the event deck and replace them with the 4 dinosaur cards. Add the reference card to your other enemy reference cards. Shuffle the T-Rex boss card into the boss deck and do not open envelopes until you've unlocked the required number of achievements listed on the back of this sheet. Cool. Okay, so you have to unlock achievements in order to use the relics, I guess. Defeat a raptor, get killed by the T-Rex is an achievement. And then there's the contents. Very cool. So how do you know... Oh, okay, that's what the number is, isn't it? So, like, this has a 3 on it, so you would complete 3 different achievements and then you can unlock the relic. That's cool. So it's like a video game, you know, you can do the achievements and unlock stuff in the game. That's cool. You know, I probably did know all this at the time that I backed it. You know, I would have read every little detail before putting my money down, but the nature of Kickstarter is that you heavily invest in watching something for a few weeks, maybe during the campaign, and then once that's all over, it's forgotten about pretty much until you receive it, which could be years later. I mean, this one took only, was it July now? So it was a year and a month maybe from the campaign ending to receiving the contents, which is really good turnaround time, if you ask me, for Kickstarter. I can't think of another one that came that quickly. I think maybe Critter Kitchen and Flamecraft Jewels actually was pretty quick. So I think they're pretty good. But I guess I'm used to like Deep Rock Galactic and the Steamforge games, which can take years. So this was quite a quick turnaround for me. We have legendary bosses. Dun, dun, dun. So this one I thought looked really cool. So they're all bosses, no little guys, just to make the game more interesting. So let's have a look at the back. It says here, battle legends of mythology. Prove your worth against 4 legends of Greek mythology. Each monstrous boss unleashes a unique set of mechanics designed to challenge your skill, strategy, and courage. Can you dodge the Gorgon's deadly stare, withstand the Centaur's erased rampage, vanquish the Minotaur before you're crushed beneath his hooves, and conquer the 3 beastly heads of the Chimera? You will be aided your quest, I guess it means say you'll be aided in your quest, by 3 new relics included in this expansion pack for Tomb Raider: The Crypt of Chronos. Few have escaped the wrath of these ancient titans. Will you walk away from their fury or fall like the rest? So really cool. So we've got like the Chimera there, got the Gorgon, the Centaur, and the Minotaur. Really nice. Let's have a look. So first of all, we've got our minis. So let's have a look at these. So this is the Minotaur. He's got a massive hammer or mallet, I guess. He's going to wallop you. Then we have a Centaur. They had Centaurs in the first Tomb Raider game. You know, but they were like Atlantean centaurs, so cool to see them. I don't know if we had a Minotaur. Maybe we have. Probably in like Tomb Raider 4 or something. We have the Chimera, looking pretty cool. We've got the goat's head, the lion's head, and the, is that like a dragon's head? I can't remember if those are the 3 things for a Chimera. But it looks very cool. Like that one a lot, actually. And then we have the Gorgon. Good old Medusa and all that kind of stuff. Okay, those are the minis, and then we've got similar looking stuff to the previous sets. So first things first, we have a boss card for each of the main guys. So here's the Minotaur. After he attacks, roll the enemy dice. 1 to 2 melee disabled for next Lara phase, 3 to 4 weapons disabled for next Lara phase, and a 5 to 6 Minotaur takes 2 damage. Okay, well, does he take 2 damage or does he damage you? Don't know. It's pretty cool. There's the Chimera, looking really awesome. When attacking, choose which head to target. I don't know why there's an extra comma there. When a head is defeated, the stat reduces. Oh, there's actually, so you actually do have 3 different heads to take out. That's awesome. I love that they've done that. Gorgon, you start blind, I guess, while, or is that invisible? Maybe that's hidden. So you start hidden while seen you can't move, which makes sense because, you know, turns you stone. When she deals you damage, you change to invisible again and roll the enemy dice. Place her on that spawn point. No other enemies can spawn. When an enemy should spawn, instead you make noise, I guess is what that means. Cool. And then the Centaur, when his health is red, he moves and attacks to twice per enemy phase. So when you're in the first 10 damage, he moves twice and attacks twice. But then, yeah, so that's cool. So you kind of like slow him down, I guess, by doing damage. Okay, and then in this final package here, we have our 3 new relics for 3, 6, and 9 achievements, respectively. And then we've got here the contents, which you've already seen, and how to use. So shuffle the boss cards into the boss deck and do not open envelopes until you've unlocked the required number of achievements listed on the back of the sheet. There's some extra clarifications here for each of the bosses, just to make sure that it's wholly clear how they work. Lions, dragons, and goats. Oh my, defeat the Chimera. Alright, so that is the Legendary Bosses expansion. Very cool. And yeah, it'd be good to see how these work with the main game. So with that, that is the final extra box from the package. So I think now we're going to look at the main box. Gosh, that was tightly packaged. Right, so here we are, Tomb Raider, the Crypt of Chronos. It's a pretty decently sized box. It's not as deep as the original Deep Rock Galactic box, but it's still quite deep. And it does say here Ultimate Croft Box, which I think is what allows me to fit everything in, basically. And we'll go through that in this video. So box size here to compare, we have the Hogs of War box, and it's not as wide or as tall as Hogs of War, and it is slightly thicker. So sort of standard IKEA Kallax size as per usual, which is always appreciated. Alright, so it says up here 1+ players. I don't know how the plus works, so I guess we'll look into that. And it says 20 to 180 minutes. It's by Iconic Studios and Crystal Dynamics, obviously, who are the, well, they're not the rights holders for Tomb Raider. I think that's Amazon that owns them, but at any rate, or Amazon the publisher. Anyway, rambling. Tomb Raider, the Crypt of Chronos. Very cool looking art. As mentioned, this is the Ultimate Croft box. It says it on all the sides, just to make sure you know that. And then the back. Okay, so it says here, set off on an unforgettable expedition. Tomb Raider, the Crypt of Chronos brings Lara Croft's legendary adventures to your tabletop in a thrilling, all-new solo journey. Drawing inspiration from the iconic video game series, this epic board game immerses you in a world of discovery and untold dangers. Explore the mysterious island of Kairos, which I think is a Greek island, if I'm right, in search of an artifact said to control the very fabric of time. Hence Chronos, I suppose. Lara must navigate treacherous terrain, evade deadly traps, and confront an enemy from her past. And it's definitely not Nala. Here you can see what's included in the box, so I'm not going to go through that because we're going to see, obviously, when we have a look inside. And then down here, you've got some of the miniatures as well. So play as modern or classic Lara, always appreciated. And then face fearsome beasts, timeless protectors, and ruthless mercenaries. Cool. All right, let's open it up. This item is not a children's toy, but it also says 14+, so I guess that means that 14+ officially is adulthood, according to Iconic Studios. Alright, first thing to be expected, I suppose, we have Tomb Raider, the Crypt of Chronos, how to play. So, fairly big booklet here, talks about the story, the adventure book, how it works. You've got all the things that are included there, additional components for island campaign mode. and all the different things on how the game works. And then presumably the campaign is at the back. Oh no, this is all rules. So the campaign is this. Okay, and this I think must set out, yeah, this is the adventure book. Gives you some story there, and then explains chapter 1, welcome to Chronos. Explains how the game works. So you've got different challenges there to unlock different outfits, or they've got different outfits in the pictures. Very cool. All the different Laras. Very cool. So this goes up to chapter 15, the Crypt of Chronos. And of course, in the Croft Manor expansion, we had 16 plus. We have some pop-out components. So I'm not sure what these things are here. Got a big boulder over there. Got some standees. And yeah, some other bits. This looks like a backpack that you have to make, so that's cool. Not sure what you put in there. Here are the boss cards, I think. Very cool. Let's have a look at these. So we have the bear, the pole march, Natla Queen. Spoiler. And then I think these are maybe just quick reference cards, possibly. What are these? Interesting. Not sure. They are different. So maybe they're just like different layouts for bosses or something. Here's some more punch-out components. So like these are the components that we saw earlier as plastic, but this is obviously the little cardboard version. So, I mean, I think the cardboard version is fine, personally. Probably don't need the deluxe components. I mean, you definitely don't need them. But that's how they get extra money out of you for Kickstarter. A sheet of white paper. Okay, underneath we have some boards. They fold out. This is Lara. You've got outfit, weapon, 2 weapons you can have. This is her health track down here. And you've got different things that she can do. Move, search, melee, hide, research, and dodge. So very similar to the collectible card game where it was like move, think, fight, and jump or something. Don't know. Then different abilities over there. And it's double-sided. So you can see here we have the classic Lara in the sort of like remastered style. Very, very cool. In the same pose as the unified one, so very nice. Here we have a craft bench. So some things up here, components, I guess, different things you can make. You can make weapons, outfits, and abilities. So that's pretty cool. So kind of like an element from the Survivor trilogy where you can craft stuff. Here is a map of Chronos with different locations for you to go to. Guess maybe to track where you are. And then we have some minis over here. Let's have a look at these. Very nice Tomb Raider embossed on the plastic. So first of all, we have our bosses. This is a bear with some arrows in him. So that's not very nice, is it? It did you dirty, Mr. Bear. We have Natla over here with her wingspan looking really, really cool. Really impressed by that one. Mr. Pole March Man, some sort of Spartan soldier perhaps. And then we have Ms. Raider herself. Very, very nice. I think the statue you could get is just a much bigger version of this, but unless you're willing to paint it, not sure why you would need that. This here is the classic Lara miniature, so really nice design with the pistols. Here we have some sort of snake coiled around a pillar of some description. Looks like a king cobra. Very nice. You get 2 of those. Couldn't not have wolves in a Tomb Raider game. Very chunky looking wolves. They've been munching down. We get 2 of those. Some sort of Greek archer. I love that they're going with the Greek theme. It's all like very cohesive. Really nice. You get 2 of those. Another Greek soldier. This one has a lance. Bit of a bent lance, but it's quite small. A shield. Is that the Chronos symbol on his shield? Very cool. Get 2 of those. And then looks like we have some modern soldiers. So you've got this dude with some sort of like M14 or something. I'm not a gun expert. Some sort of semi-automatic, fully automatic, not sure. 3 of those, and you also get 3 of these kinds of soldiers. So you've got a best of both. Well, I guess all 3 really, because you've got the animals, you've got the guys with guns, and then you've got like the ancient warrior stuff, and of course the bosses. Very cool. Don't know what goes in there. All right, that's tray number 1. Cool. So underneath we've got a tray that fits, I'm assuming, all of the expansion stuff that we've already looked at. Yeah, because you can see that would be for the T-Rex, and then you've got places for the other dinosaurs, for the other bosses in there, and then all the cards. So all of this fits in this tray, which is really, really nice. All right, looks like we've got a bunch of cool stuff underneath here as well. So we've got what looks like a dice bag. It's not the like most premium feeling dice bag, but it's always nice. Got the game logo on it. This guy up here is a massive boulder miniature. I did wonder where this would be because I saw the boulder like token, but I thought there was a mini, but here it is. it is really heavy as well, actually, because it's not hollow by the looks of it. Nice, like that. We have some regular dice, so these are the yellow ones that we saw from earlier, but yellow with some green inside, and then we have green with yellow inside. Got the standard 6-sided die as well. I think I like the more colorful dies than the deluxe ones, but the deluxe ones are bigger and nicer. So, and then we've got some red gems here, so similar to the stretch goal tokens where we had like these red gems. I'm not sure whether they have anything to do with it. In Deep Rock, these are for health, so maybe it's a health thing. Don't know. So that's all that. We have research cards, so little cards here, like Rewind Time. I love that she's put like notes on these. It reminds me of Call of the Sea and Call of the Elder Gods. Have you ever played those games? They're pretty cool. They're kind of 40s, 50s inspired puzzle games, where they feature an adventure similar to like a Tomb Raider or an Indiana Jones, but it's a first-player adventure game. I haven't played Call of the Elder Gods, but I played Call of the Sea. Really enjoyed it. Anyway, that's irrelevant to this. So yeah, you can see these are research cards, so small cards, and they do different things. Reroll a dice, skip space, reroll a dice, dodge a trap. So I'm not going to go through all of these. So that's the research cards. We've got this humongous stack of cards. So this is probably just the rest of the cards. Okay, so we've got here some of the event and invaded cards. So what do they say on here? They've got like some sort of vase thing, removed from the event deck after use, and then a drop thing. I don't know what these mean, but we had some of those in the expansions as well. We have enemy reference cards, so standard enemies. We've got the protectors, so both the lance and the archer guy, and then the advanced side, so it's called hoplite and archer. Cool. And then you've got like the more advanced stuff that they do. We've got the Natla tech guys, and then you can see it says the enforcer and grenadier, wildlife, and then you've got wolf and snake. Here we have ability cards. So discover, no action, choose +1, choose +3. So they all do different things that I don't know what they are yet. Once per Lara phase, you may use this card as something on your standard actions. I wonder if it's like an action or something. Anyway, we got weapons. We have dual pistols, shotgun, bow, very cool. Spear of Ares, nice. M16, so it wasn't M16, or did I say 14? Don't remember. So I just realized I'm covering the picture. Spectre Rifle, the Silent Sting, very cool. Hailstorm, some kind of Uzi. Prometheus Flame, Flamethrower. Wasp 11, or Wasp 2. Hades RPG. And Titanfire, which is a grenade launcher. Yeah, I'm sure Hades would use a RPG. Then we have a bunch of outfits. So if we have a look at here, we've got a bomber jacket from Tomb Raider 2. Got the Immortal Guardian from Rise of the Tomb Raider, nice. Classic Trinity from Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Gorilla from from Tomb Raider 2016. Catsuit from Tomb Raider Chronicles. But was it 2013, not 2016? Biker from Tomb Raider Legend, nice. Jungle Heavy from Underworld. Survivor from 2013. Nightshade from Rise. Antarctica from Tomb Raider 3. Camo from Angel of Darkness, had to be in there somewhere. And Nevada from Tomb Raider 3. Very nice. Here we have some tomb cards. In here, we've got different maps, artifacts, and special rules, etc. So I'm guessing these are like special missions that you randomly draw from the deck. Similarly, we have desert cards. I'd prefer desert cards. You can see here. Destroy, hunt, boss, lockpick, stealth, ambush, escape. Then we have mountain cards, similar sort of thing, different sort of tile setup. Finally, we have jungle cards. Seems like there's a lot of jungle cards actually, but similar sort of things, different map layouts. That's all of the cards. Looks like we got 2 sets of tiles and some more of the achievement relic things. So let's look at the relics first. Obviously, I'm not actually going to see what the relics are because they are wrapped up in these. We see here 35, 30, 25, 20, 16, 12, 9, 6, and 3. So you'll get more of these as you unlock more achievements. Very nice. Okay, we've got some jungly bits, some mosaic bits. So all double-sided, I would have thought. So maybe for different maps, you've got like tomb and jungle. That's what these ones would be. Got like different traps and icons on them. Very cool. And then these ones, I guess, are desert and mountain. All right, so this will be mountainous. Got different things you can climb on. Slopes, which is kind of cool. Pits, which is pretty scary. Then on the back, you've got deserts. You've got quicksand and rocks and all that kind of stuff. Cool, that's everything from the box. So now let's have a look at the big tube. Righto, here is a big tube. This should contain the playmat. Now you don't need a playmat. You can just put the tiles down on the table. But obviously, if you want to be super extra, then a playmat is available. Out she comes. Actually, I tell you what, that just about fits on my table. It is, however, the wrong way around. Let's just zoom out a bit. So yeah, just about fits on the table, just hangs over a little bit over that side, but that's close enough for me. So what do we have here? So at the top, we've got places to put the cards. You've got the boss, the crypt, jungle, mountain, desert, and tomb. Down here, we've got the island boards, event discard, research discard. You put the Lara board down here. The craft bench is like, can't move this thing. Craft bench is over here. And then this is where you'd put the main tiles. So let's just quickly get some things. All right, so this to me would look to be the island board. So that goes over there. This is the craft bench. So that would go down in this corner over down here. Of course, we have our Lara board. Let's go classic Lara. That would fit down here. So your boss cards would go in a pile up in the corner. Obviously, if you add more bosses, like the ones from the expansions, they would go in this pile. So you put the boss cards there. These are, I guess, the crypt cards, so they would go there. Up in this corner is where all of these different cards go. So we've got the jungle ones, got the mountain, desert, then the tomb, and you've got your event cards, which I think go there. Then the research cards look like they go there, and then there's a discard pile for both of those. And then I'm guessing down here is where the abilities, weapons, and outfits would go, because you craft them, so you'd put your abilities there. Got the weapons that would live there, and then the outfits would live there. So if we zoom out and take these away, these are the enemy reference cards. That's kind of what your board looks like. And then this is where you would put the tiles. So like maybe you would put that one there, and that one there, that one there, something like that. Lay it out and play as you go along. Okay, that is Tomb Raider: The Crypt of Chronos, the full all-in Kickstarter edition minus the statue. So the next thing I'm going to cover in this video is a little bit about the price. I'm going to put on screen how much everything came to. Not too bad in my opinion. So I think this is worth it for me because, you know, massive Tomb Raider fan, and there's a lot of cool stuff included in here. Last thing I'm going to cover on this video is how it all fits into the main box. Now that I've got pictures of everything in their own individual boxes, I want to put them all into the ultimate Croft box. Okay, after about an hour of wrangling with the box and doing some research online to see what other people have done, I finally managed to get everything inside this box. So everything bar, of course, the playmat now fits quite nicely in here in a way that makes sense and makes me ready to play. So I'll go through and show you how I have organized it. First of all, on top we have the mini instruction guide for the Croft Manor expansion, as well as the two inserts for the dinosaur expansion and the super boss expansion, legendary boss, whatever it's called. So that sits on top, as well, of course, as the how to play guide and the campaign guide. Underneath that, we have the craft board, the Lara board, so that's folded over like this, with the Kedos and the craft bench board sitting inside this divot here. So it's important that they sit in this divot in whatever order, and then the folded shorter side of the board fits in that divot with this bit hanging over, because that fits nice and flat. Underneath that is the standard miniatures tray. So everything in here was as it came in the box, but we've also got the tracker cubes in there, and also underneath we have these standard tiles. If I can get these out, these little tokens here, they live under there because I'm not likely to need them because I have the nice plastic versions. So they live in that tray. Underneath that, we have the expansion tray. So here we've got obviously the dinosaurs and the legendary bosses, as well as Winston. We've got the upgraded tracker cubes down here. And then we've got the standard tokens for the resources and the dice. The guide from Iconic Studios originally said this is where you would put your upgraded dice and tokens, but they would not fit in here, not even close. You could maybe fit all the plastic tokens across both containers, but you wouldn't have anywhere to put the dice. So I've put the standard ones in here, so that the actual upgraded components can be in the main box ready to play. Then the bottom is where things get interesting. Things are kind of packed in here in a way that makes sense, but it did take me a few passes to get this right. So obviously the boulder is over there. We have the upgraded dice inside this container here in this bottom right container. And it's also worth mentioning I rotated this 90 degrees clockwise because I found it fit in the box better. That's just how I figured things out. Here are the unopened relics for all of the expansions. So the legendary bosses, the dinosaurs, and then the Croft Manor expansion relics. They all live in here, as well as the standard cards from those expansions, because you do keep those separate, at least to begin with. So they live in that component container. The standard cards all live in the container next to them, as well as the research cards. These will all fit in here a lot better once these envelopes have been opened, because they're just full of air, but they do flatten when you put stuff on top of them. Next, we have the two tile sections. So the Croft Manor tiles were split in two between these two sections. So this is like half of the Croft Manor tiles, and you've got the jungle and the underneath that, that's the tomb, and underneath that we have half of the relics as well. They live in that little component of the container, and they get squashed by the map tiles, so it's nice and flat. Same with the other side and the boulder tile. In this bit we have the stretch goal plastic tokens, as well as these little blue tokens. In this container we have the square tokens, so that's like these guys, as well as of course the exit. In this big container in the middle, I've got all of the boss cards, so that's for the standard game, as well as the legendary bosses and the T-Rex, as well as the crypt cards. They all rest on top of there. We have the completed save bag, so that does fit in there. The pin anchor thingies, so you've got a bunch of those, they live in there. And then in this thing down here, this is where the plastic resources live. They live in this bag, flat on the bottom, to make sure all of this fits snugly. It did take a little bit of convincing the first time, but I think now that it's all in there like that, it goes in pretty nicely. So I put that white thing on top just to keep that bit separated. Put the expansion tray on top of that. Then the standard components tray. Then we'll take these guys, put them on there, as well as the Lara board. And then you've got the instruction manual, campaign book, and the little instruction manual for the expansion as well. And that's how everything fits in the box. So that's really nice. It just means you get all of your game pieces in here, and you can play everything from this one box. Very cool. Okay, that's Tomb Raider, the Crypt of Chronos. I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I will have some videos on this game. I'm really looking forward to getting it out and playing some missions. I'd really love to play it all the way through and get all the achievements. It's just about finding the time and the space to have a board game out all the time. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on another video.